Alex Car Doctor. Welcome back to the last section of my little video episodes of the 3.6 Pentastar lifter rocker job. Alrighty guys, we're gonna jump right into it. Today we're gonna be focusing on the valve cover and the intake. So should be pretty easy, straightforward stuff. Let's jump right into this thing and get this thing running today. Alrighty, here we go. Just a quick little recap, of course. Oh, we're not on that yet. The last episode, we got all the front end together, got the thermostat changed out, got the front cover cleaned up, got everything torqued down. And now, the only thing that I did off camera was clean the valve covers in the parts washer. Now guys, I didn't mention this, but once you time an engine, it's always a good idea to take a wrench and rotate the engine over. Sorry guys, I just left that portion out, but it's okay. I told you now. Alrighty, the first thing we're gonna do is remove the old valve cover gasket. Went in my mouth, okay. Here we go. And this should just come right up once you get it started. Like so. Throw that in my jump box. Voila. And I'm gonna work on removing these tube seals. It may not just come up like that with these pliers. I'm just trying some stuff here, but let's see. Oh yeah, they come right up that way. So basically what I'm doing, I'm taking my needle nose pliers and I'm grabbing it, the seal, like so, and just crushing it, and it comes right out. Now, another way you can get them out, oh, this one is missing the last one. Okay, let's work on this one. Another way you can get them out is take a little punch or something flat and just hammer it out from the top. But this way is working really good for me, so I'm gonna continue to do it this way. Ooh. That one was fighting with me. Very important you change these tube seals. Do not neglect to do this because it will cause oil to leak down in the spark plug wells. We don't want that. There's another seal up here. It's for the cam sensor, and that should just come right out with these, like so. And like so. I'll get that later. I'm gonna put this up so I won't stick myself. Now what really keeps this in place is the sensor. Remember, it bolts down from the top. So you should just be able to plop them on, and when the sensor get on there, to squish it down in place. Or if you're really a stickler about it, you can just kind of tap it in, but or push it down in there. because it's kind of raised up right here. So if you don't want that, there's a little lip right here. You can find something flat like a flathead screwdriver and just push it down. Simple. Try not to poke the rubber. All right, now flip everything back over. Let's work on the tube seals next. And you don't have to do this in any particular order. You can just, you know, whatever comes to mind. Now, these do have to go on a particular way. If you don't put them on right, you'll be in big trouble. I'm about to show you here. Okay, so you have like somewhat of a flat surface here. Then you have like a smooth bevel end right here. It kind of goes like this. The idea when you put the valve cover on, it has tubes, spark plug tube, spark plug tube wells, the spark plug wells slide right in there. So I'm kind of setting these up because I am going to tap them in. But first, let me see, can I push them in? Yep, I can just push them in. Went down pretty good. Ooh, don't want that to happen. Voila. All right, that side good. Trying to give you guys a really good view of what I'm doing here. Hopefully you can catch that. It helps if it's flat. So just kind of pushing down. Now I'm gonna show you another way for this last one because this way is kind of risky. This is normally what I do. I take an extension and I just simply push down to get it started. And just light little taps, that's all it takes. Nothing too serious. Now for the valve cover. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna kind of spread it out. Now it does go on a certain way. Let's see if you can see that on camera. No, not really. Let's see here. All right. But it only goes on one way. So if I try to put this on upside down, let's see what's gonna happen. It's not gonna go. Hopefully you see that. This little tab is gonna be folding out like that if it try to go on the wrong way. This tab should be floating straight. Now some people like to put RTV just to hold it. I don't find it necessary. You can go in dry. It's no big deal. But sometimes RTV is necessary because what'll happen, like this went on nice and even. It's nothing trying to pop out of place. If something is popping out of place, putting the valve cover gasket on, you could either use RTV, or if you're kind of in a rush, put a little super glue at the edges, stick, and in the middle, it's not going anywhere. And you're gonna make the person mad, whoever's trying to get it off the next time. So we got that one all complete. All right. Let's see, this is always kind of confusing. Oh. There we go, I think, nope. Found it. Voila. And just double check, just go down the line again. Make sure everything is properly seated. Wonderful. Bam, that's all she wrote. Now, this one goes over here. This. Alrighty. Next important thing, you want to make sure the wiring harness is secure and out the way, because the last thing you want to happen when you go down on this stuff is the wires getting pinched down in there. All right, the next step I'm gonna do is just wipe my surface clean. You want a very clean surface. You want to make sure no dirt or grime gets caught up in there. There's a little grime here. Keep that out the head. Great. That's another important step. So just take this extra time to wipe down everything. Very important. Because if you just slap it on, you won't create a good seal, and you'll be doing it over again. No one wants to do that. Now, you don't need these extra gaskets. I just got finished cleaning up everything, by the way. You don't need these extra gaskets if you don't remove the phaser sensors, or yeah. I didn't look that up yet. So I didn't upset those gaskets, so I don't have to replace them. But you can at home if you want. And they don't normally leak, so they're not a problematic item. So we're gonna get this harness away from the surface. I don't want nothing to get caught down in there. All right, here we go. First valve cover. So just take your time, line everything up. Make sure the wires are not getting caught. Constantly check for that. See what you're getting caught up on, if you are getting caught up on something. I think this is the hard one. Guys, I knew this was gonna be a little fight. It always is, because that little piece sticks out in the back, so it's a little finessing to get it on there. But I'm gonna pull it back up just to check everything and go for round 2. Oh, I think I got it. I felt it drop in back there. There we go. So just having a little finesse it on in there, move it back and forward, and it's still floating in the back. How about that? Stitch down there. Make sure everything is properly seated, which I don't think it is back here. And I think it's a piece of wire that's in the, oh yeah, it's caught in the sensor. What I'm telling you guys not to do, I did. How about that? I'm just gonna take it back up. Start fresh. Look at here. Look at the booger. Make sure my gasket is still seated. And, oh, I did forget that. I wouldn't work neither. Guys, why you didn't tell me I left this in there? That was gonna be one of the main things I got. Okay, let's try it again. Voila. Perfect. That's what we want. And let's move to the next one now. Okay. Make sure everything is properly seated. No, I'm still filming. Alrighty, so I'm supposed to move these. It makes it a lot easier. These brackets right here. But I think I can slide it on in without. So that's what I'm gonna try. Making sure there's no wires caught. Everything is good. Give it a little pat. Gravy. And guys, I did replace this rubber boot that I tore up. I had one laying around that was in really good shape. Alrighty. This time I'm just gonna double check everything with my light. You want to make sure you just look around before you tighten everything down. Make sure everything is seated properly. Take the time out and check your gaskets. Make sure they look seated. This extra time you take will save you in the long run. So far so good. All right, now let me go grab my 8. Alrighty, so with these valve covers, you can torque them. I do believe the torque spec is like 89 inch-pounds, but it's so hard to maneuver a torque wrench all the way around here. I choose not to. It's not one of those critical things that if you don't torque it, oh my God, it's the end of the world. Just use common sense when tightening it down, because you see where I'm using a quarter drive. And all it takes is like wrist tight, but you want to grab your wrench up here, not back here. You'll get too much leverage and you'll end up stripping out stuff or breaking these. It's not that tight. You can kind of feel for it. So I'm gonna go ahead and tighten these all down, and the next section is putting my sensors back in, my cam sensors. So I'll show you that portion. All right, I got everything tightened down properly. I double checked everything. I just go back over with my little wrench and checking each one. Now it's time for these cam sensors. And they're a little funny. You have to kind of feel for them. And I believe this is a T30. Let's see. Oh, this ain't even a T30. This is a dang 6mm. My tools are not where they're supposed to be. So I'm gonna go grab a T30. Okay, I'm gonna tighten this down. And if you was wondering which way it goes, you can kind of just look at where the orientation of the plug is, which is right here. And again, if you want to torque this stuff, I do believe the torque spec is 89 inch-pounds, because it's not that much torque that goes on this stuff. I'm going to plug this in now because I don't want to forget. I'm going to switch to the other side. Do the same. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is take the time out and secure my wiring harness and plug in my phaser sensors. And this is the piece that broke last time. I had one that laying around, so I went ahead and replaced that. Voila. I like to put all the little push clips back in place. The whole idea behind this is you want to go in as if no one has ever been in here. Meaning every bolt is back, every push pin is back. Take pride in what you do if you're going to be tackling this job yourself. Like, somebody already been in here, because this is supposed to be wrapped around here, but it's not, which is, it's just fine. It's no big deal, but take pride in what you do. Plug that in. Now, the most annoying part about this job is putting this crankcase breather back on. So it goes right here. Voila. And you have these tiny little screws that it's easily dropped. So what I normally try to do is thread them in by hand. And sometimes they don't even work. All right, there we go. Got one threaded in. And here's the last one. It could be a booger because it's like underneath. Ooh. Let the fun begin. This is where your eyes on your hands come in handy. If that makes sense. So while I'm struggling with this, I'm not gonna let you bear through it, but this is the hard one. In the very back at the bottom. Any tips for it? Nah, not really. Yeah, you just have to use both of your hands. I got it in now. It's threading okay. No, it's threading great actually. All right. Now this is a one of my guys, they put tape so he can grip it better. He was using my set T25. All right, and then let's tighten it down. It doesn't need all that oomph. You just tighten it just a little bit. If you do give it a lot of oomph, you will break it. So be mindful of how you tighten that down. And good luck getting a torque wrench back there. Alrighty, that's the last one. Now at this time, I can go ahead and put my coils in. Do not put power tools on these. You will strip. All right. And these coils, they don't go in any specific order. And I need my 10. Again, finger tight. You don't need wrist tight on this. They're not going anywhere. You don't have to worry about them blowing off. Because you have metal inserts that is melted in the plastic, so the plastic is holding it. So if you do give it a lot of torque, get a lot of strength, you will strip it, and then you have to pry the whole coil up in order to get it off. Because you would just be sitting there turning all day, and the little insert would just be spinning. So you don't need much. All right, so this is loose. I'm gonna get it 13 and tighten that up. This clamp back on. Like I said, when you get off from under your hood, you want everything to look original. So I'm still looking out for little clamps that I miss, like these little push pins. I missed those when I was checking for everything. That's why I double check, triple check, because you can easily miss something on this motor. All right. This little piece goes back here. All right. Voila. Now just take this moment just to look over everything. Tighten down what you need to tighten down. And just double check, triple check. So I'm gonna stick my wrench in here and tighten this down. I probably should wait, but I think I got that bracket loose over there, so I can afford to tighten this down. All right. I'm gonna put that off to the side because we're gonna need that later. Everything looks good. Boom, boom, boom. All my push pins are lined up. They're correct spot. Now it's time to remove the rag from the intake. Again, just wipe it down. Make sure the mating surface is clean. These gaskets, they was recently replaced. Like I mentioned, someone's been in here already. Maybe replacing the oil cooler. That's my guess. And we're looking good. Quick little cut in here. Do not forget to put this crankcase breather tube on prior to installing the intake manifold, or you'll be like me trying to fish it back there blindly and trying to hook it up to the valve cover to the intake box. So I think I can get a better view underneath. I'll let you know how that works out. But yeah, don't be like me. Alrighty. Probably should have taken up these screws. That would have made it easier to line up, but it's okay. I got it. Now the torque spec is on the intake, 7 to 9 Newton meters. Very light torque spec. If you hammer down on it, will strip, almost guaranteed. So I'm gonna push this down in here. I'm gonna go ahead and hook up my vacuum lines. Find my harness because it's probably stuffed back here, which I knew it was. All right, come on. Voila. Temperature sensor. Let's see. This is for the map sensor. Plug that in if I can. All right. There's a push pin back here. I'm just gonna go ahead and secure that. I'm just gonna have to switch positions because I can't see. It's supposed to be a hole right here. There's supposed to be a bracket that this slides into. Let me look around. After looking at my footage, guess what? It didn't even have one. It was just dangling here, and that's probably why this piece snapped in the first place, because it's just vibrating around. Like I mentioned before, it's supposed to have like a little bracket piece that goes right there. But it is what it is. So I'm gonna run these up by hand. Never use power tools on this. Please, you will strip it, and you will need a new lower intake. And I'm gonna go ahead and get the T20 because you can easily stick I think it's a T20, or yeah, I think it's T20. It's easy with these long torque bits. Let's see if I'm right. Yep, T20. Alright, and this one is kind of hidden. So I'm about to climb on over in here. Right here. Come on. Two, 4, 6. Trying to grab my light out my pocket, but it didn't want to come. And I think that is it. Yep. 7. All right. Now I'm gonna grab my torque wrench and just give it about 10 Newton meters. So here we go. 10 Newton meters, which is not a lot of torque. Voila. Oh, get back up in here. And I didn't even have this one tight. Pretty tight, but it's okay. That's why I always say double check, triple check everything. That's close enough. I got it at 8, 9. It's supposed to be 7 between 9, so it was at 8. I couldn't get a really good grip on it. All right. Ugh. Now, I'm gonna try to find him a bracket for this because I don't like stuff just dangling here. Like I mentioned before, that's how this piece got messed up in the first place. It's definitely supposed to be a bracket right there. Because it's supposed to have something for this to connect to, but I'm missing some parts. Yeah. All right. Boom, boom, boom. Looks good. Now back there, it was missing some tins, and back here was missing some things. So I will replace those off camera. It's no point of showing that, I feel, because it's just missing screws. If you find some missing screws on yours, you can either go to the hardware store or leave it. It's not the end of the world dealing with that. I guess that's why the majority of people leave them off, because they think they're pointless. It's not the point. That's not the point. The point is, if you took it off, put it back. It just shows good workmanship when somebody else go behind you and be like, oh wow, they did this, and you know, looks great. So that's what you want to see. Now what I'm doing now is just checking for my screws. Just want to check the area. Alrighty, just got finished putting oil and coolant. Just tightening down my hose clamps and getting ready to give you guys the first start. And we'll check everything and make sure everything is good. Make sure it ain't leaking. And even got a souvenir for the customer. Look at that. Alrighty. Let's see what she did. I've already primed the engine, meaning you let the engine turn over and let the oil circulate through the cars. One good way you can do that while you're starting the engine, push the pedal to the floor and you'll get something like this. But you gotta push your feet on the brake too, so to start, because it's push to start. The vehicle will not start if you have the pedal. If I can get it to stop starting. So the vehicle will not start on newer vehicles if you have the pedal pushed to the floor. So that's one way to disable it so you can prime up everything. So now I'm actually gonna start it. Sounds great to me. I think the last thing I gotta do is find some 10 millimeters. Hopefully I can find some around the shop to replace that with. Remember I said somebody did here already. So I just gotta replace those screws. But the job is complete. I just have to put the engine cover back on, wipe everything down, test drive it, bleed the cooling system. Make sure you check out that video. I got a great video of me showing you how to bleed the cooling system on a Dodge product vehicle. So make sure you check that out. I'll try to put it in the link in the description. Right, babe?
Right.
Yes, great. You got it right. But guys, I hope you enjoyed this series. And again, this was the long, drawn out process. There is a quicker way to do it, but I just wanted to cover all bases. Just in case something happens with the timing or you have to go in there. I'm gonna make this video, I'm gonna make it once and that's it. Now we'll be making another video, a shorter way of doing this. That's coming up shortly, so make sure you hit that subscribe and notification bell for future videos. Alex the Car Doctor out. See you guys on the next one.